Imagine living in a world where your deepest beliefs could get you killed. That was the reality for the earliest followers of Jesus in the 1st and 2nd centuries. These early Christians weren't living in grand cathedrals. They met secretly in homes, sharing simple meals and radical ideas that challenged everything around them. After Jesus' crucifixion around 30 AD, his followers faced an impossible task: spread a message of love and resurrection in an empire that worshipped many gods and demanded loyalty to Caesar. They called themselves the Way. Their communities were small at first, often just a few dozen people meeting in private homes across the Roman Empire. The rigid Roman social classes, early Christian groups welcomed slaves, free people, women, and men as equals before God. This was revolutionary. Their worship was simple. No fancy buildings yet. They sang hymns, read letters from apostles like Paul, and celebrated the Lord's Supper together. But this new faith made them targets. Romans viewed them as atheists for refusing to honor the emperor's divinity. In 64 AD, Emperor Nero blamed Christians for the Great Fire of Rome. Many were crucified, burned as human torches, or torn apart by wild animals. Despite the danger, their numbers grew. The courage of the martyrs actually attracted more people who saw something powerful in their faith. What was daily life like? Many worked normal jobs as artisans, merchants, or servants, while secretly practicing their faith at night. They developed secret symbols like the fish or ichthus. Baptism was a major commitment. New believers were fully immersed in water, symbolizing death to their old life and rebirth into Christ. Letters from leaders like Paul, Peter, and John were treasured. Women played crucial roles as leaders, hosts of house churches, and missionaries. People like Lydia and Priscilla were vital to the movement. The early Christians practiced radical generosity. They shared possessions, cared for widows, orphans, and even their enemies. Pliny the Younger, a Roman governor, wrote to Emperor Trajan around 112 AD, describing how Christians sang hymns to Christ as to a god. Many refused to burn incense to Roman gods or the emperor. This act of civil disobedience often led to arrest and execution. The martyrdom of Polycarp in 155 AD showed their incredible faith. When asked to curse Christ, he replied he'd served him for 86 years. Their hope was rooted in the resurrection. Death wasn't the end. They believed they would rise again like Jesus. By the late 2nd century, Christian communities existed throughout the empire from Britain to North Africa. They faced false rumors too, accused of cannibalism because of the Lord's Supper and incest for calling each other brother and sister. Yet their love for one another stood out. Even pagan writers noted how Christians cared for their sick during plagues. The faith spread not primarily through great speeches, but through ordinary people living transformed lives. Their scriptures were being collected. The New Testament was taking shape as communities recognized authoritative writings. They lived with constant tension between their heavenly citizenship and earthly duties as Roman subjects. Children were raised in the faith, learning stories of Jesus through oral tradition and emerging written gospels. The early Christians transformed the ancient world one heart at a time, eventually leading to the faith becoming legal under Constantine.